Hey guys, Luna here and welcome back to another Skyrim 5 Awesome Mod video, bringing you guys 5 awesome mods from Skyrim Special Edition on Xbox One that are all really worth downloading, and all of them have not been covered in my brand new mod series, so we can avoid duplicate mod showcases. If you haven't done so already, check out today's earlier 5 brand new console mods for another 5 awesome mods to look at. Well guys, as always, we can jump straight to our first mod. Our first mod is the Real Mountains mod. The mod adds to Skyrim a new texture to make all the rocks and mountains in the game more realistic and better looking without breaking the feel of the vanilla game too much. The difference isn't huge, but the rocks definitely look much better now, in my opinion. Especially the darker contrast, it makes things look much more real than they were before. Overall, not an overly exciting mod or complex one, but if you're trying to improve the graphics in the game, this one is definitely one to add to the list of graphic overhaul mods. Next up, we have another small but simple fun mod that does one thing. Adds the ability for the player to wear as many rings and amulets as you wish. The only limit to this mod is that only one mod added ring can be worn at any one time, meaning that if you download a mod that adds rings, you can only have one modded ring equipped, but you can still have as many vanilla rings and DLC rings as you wish. This also applies to amulets as well. So if you want to be completely overpowered in the game, or you simply can't decide between two different rings, or amulets, or both, and just want to wear a few extra things to boost your abilities just a little bit, then you can do that now. Remember, the mod only works with rings and amulets in the game, and the DLC. The next mod is a fun immersive mod that I believe I covered in my confirmed console mod series, but never actually went over in a mod showcase. The goal of this mod is to provide an incentive to live in Skyrim without demanding a significant change in playstyle. Your needs will adjust to your timescale, so by default you should only feel the need to eat and drink 2 to 3 times a day and sleep once per day, provided that you're consuming full meals and getting a good night's sleep. Just use a little common sense. Follow a schedule and you should hopefully find that features here are intuitive and have been well integrated into the world. So what does the mod actually add? Well, it adds 3 different needs: hunger, thirst, and fatigue. For hunger, prepared food tends to be more filling. Soup will lower thirst in addition to hunger. Eating raw meat will still lower hunger, but you may become sick from it. So basically what the mod does, it provides benefits when you have a full stomach, but when you start to get hunger, it will apply different penalties to you until you eat to make the game more realistic. For thirst, water and alcohol will quench your thirst. Water can be carried in water skin sacks, which can be crafted at leather racks, purchased from innkeepers or general goods merchants, and can sometimes be found on NPCs as well. You will begin a game with 1 empty water skin in your inventory. They can be filled throughout the following methods when empty: collected by standing in bodies of fresh water, collected from any open well, water barrel, or water keg like you can see me doing in the video, and they can also be purchased from merchants, collected from any upright bucket or kettle out when it's raining, or requested from an NPC that you become friendly with. One cool little feature is that when you collect salt water when you're out in the ocean, it can be reduced down into salt piles, which can be used to help cook things at the cooking pot, so that's pretty handy. The final one is fatigue. The type of environment you decide to sleep in will be a factor in lowering your fatigue. Sleeping in a bed or tent will be more effective than a bedroll or hay pile. Sleeping in a house or inn will be more effective than sleeping in a dungeon. While less effective, fast travelling by a carriage or sitting and waiting for at least 2 hours will also lower fatigue for the time spent sitting. So this mod is just some of the features that you can get. There's also an extended edition of this mod, which we won't go over in this one because it adds in loads more to the game. But this one was just the main kind of one that covers the basics: sleeping, drinking, and eating. If you don't do those 3 things, then you will get penalized for not doing them. So just like in real life, you have to eat, sleep, and drink, or you will start to deteriorate. So it's a really cool immersive mod that makes the game just a bit better and realistic, and it's one worth checking out. Our next mod is the Power Greatswords. Fancy yourself a warrior? Well, what's a warrior without proper equipment? The Power Greatswords mod is a mod that adds 4 new standalone 2-handed swords into the game. Each weapon has complete custom meshes, complete custom textures, custom glow map for each of the swords, each with its own colour. All the swords have the same effect as any other sword as well. So what weapons does the mod actually add? Well, you get the big blue sword. Inspired by the harsh climate of Skyrim, quite a fair amount of detail has been put into the texture of this sword to make it resemble ice. The Blood Nord blade. Inspired by the Nordic tradition of sword making and engraved with glowing runes, the design of this sword is elegant yet intimidating, and the red glow is just the icing on the cake with this one. The Dragon Greatsword. Inspired by Dwemer weapon making art, this sword is what warriors of great caliber would consider a true weapon. The red glow in the handle and crossguard of the sword will be the last thing your enemies ever see. And finally, the Blue Knight Greatsword. The inspiration to this sword comes from magic. With its purple glow and crystal sharp edge, this sword is a great fit for any mighty dragon slayer, and it has a cool side effect when you use a power attack as well. Overall, a really cool mod and one worth downloading, especially that Blue Knight great sword. It's going to be a lot of fun to use that one. Our final mod is Dovahkiin Keep. This mod adds to the game a really large castle player home, but one that's really awesome. Starting on the outside of the house, it looks really cool, and despite its size, looks like it could easily have been part of the vanilla game, as it fits seamlessly into the surroundings. On the outside, it has a nice garden area, with all the trading and crafting stuff you can need. On the inside, the main entrance is like a throne room, which is very unique and awesome looking. On the right of it is the room with hundreds of mannequins and weapon racks, nicely laid out so you can see all the stuff you have. Then attached to this is another room with 2 floors for more of the same. You could probably use that for all your more unique items. On the other side of the throne room is a living area with beds, cooking, food and storage, pretty much everything you need. It also has a door leading to the outside. All of this is split up over 2 levels. Behind the throne room is more crafting areas in the cellar, along with space for enchanting and alchemy. Up the stairs from this is a large open plan library, and above that again is a smaller bedroom, and finally the master bedroom. Overall, this is a very nice player home. It's large but not excessive, the decor and architecture fit perfectly with vanilla Skyrim, and it has everything you can need in a player home, with enough space for all of your followers as well. One of the nicer player homes I've seen. Well guys, there we have it, 5 awesome console mods that are worth downloading. As always guys, if you enjoyed the video, like, comment and subscribe, and I will see you all again tomorrow for another Skyrim console mod video. See you all then.